Spectacular, spectacular. Let's get back in the kitchen. Maybe we're going to turn it up, actually. Let's turn it up in the kitchen. This morning we are making one of the most essential side dishes for your festive table, the fried potato. Yes, not all fried potatoes are created equal, and Chef Clem really knows his stuff. You might call them fried potatoes, but we call them slices of perfection, or wedges of perfection, maybe. Chef Clem, exciting times, man.
I feel
Carbs have returned for the festive season.
They have.
And this makes us very excited. The fried potato, this is not a roast potato.
No, it's not done in the oven.
Potato chip. No?
No, it's done in oil. And I feel like, you know, might be like, what else are we doing? I'm going to make something with it a little later, but this is so important. It's going to be the one recipe I do now.
It's got to be perfect, baby.
It has to be perfect.
No pressure, but it's got to be perfecto.
If you want to have a festive season, and you want to enjoy it, you're going to have to get these right.
And you have them hot first for the first round, the iteration, and then it's got to be the day after cold for me.
Okay, I've got a recipe for the day after.
Ready?
Yeah, and I'm going to show you about
Boxing Day while you're watching the cricket, and you've got to do it.
Okay.
All right, so let's create perfection, my friend.
It starts with the potato.
It should.
Okay, so I'm using the Woolies everyday potato. What I like about Woolies is, I don't know, do you remember the day when you walked into the store and you just buy a potato and that's the potato?
Yeah.
They've got so many varieties of potato now. It is absolutely amazing. And I mean, it sounds funny, but as a foodie person, the fact that you can walk into Woolies and go like, today I'm going to have a Sifra, tomorrow an Apache, and then a Nicola potato.
I quite like the sound of an Apache potato.
An Apache potato, if you haven't had it, it's got a beautiful little pink skin on it. It's so good, it's so delicious.
And of course, they have different textures, they have different flavor profiles.
Absolutely.
You can have a little bit of fun with the humble potato. But now we are doing the most humble of the everyday potato.
And I think this is Mondial.
Hey?
Mondial. It's a Mondial. It's a waxy potato. Normally when you do...
What does that mean?
Okay, so inside the potato, there's different textures. Like you said, a fluffy or... You know? So the Apache is a very fluffy potato. The inside almost turns... It actually does turn into like mashed potatoes inside when you cook it.
Oh, wow, okay.
It's got a very thick skin. The Mondial is a little more waxier, but it still works for this recipe because we're going to cook our potato 3 times.
Wow.
So we're going to get that fluffy texture on the inside. So when you buy your potatoes at Woolies, just look at the variety potato and look at what it actually is. And it actually tells you
okay.
Oiling and solids. Okay. So I'm kind of cheating today. I'm going to use a waxy potato for this, but it's still going to work.
Cool.
So what I do is, you can take the skins off.
Okay.
We posted the video on Woolworth's Instagram, the full tutorial. So if you're looking for that, go and check it out there.
Maybe do it now while we're doing this.
No, do it afterwards. Do it afterwards.
Do it at the same time.
Ad break. So someone asked, can they leave the skins of the potato? 100%. You can.
Okay.
So what I did was I just took it off just to make it look more traditional.
Sure.
Then it goes into a pot of... We throw our spoons on the floor.
Man. It's crazy, man.
It's gone.
It's crazy in this kitchen.
So what we did, we got over here a pot.
Now you got to use your hand. Now you just got to reach in there.
I'm just going to use my hand, get it in the... Can you see? No, I'm not going to do that. Okay, the first important thing is when you cook potatoes, you always start with cold water, not warm water.
Really?
Anything that grows underground that you're going to boil, you start from cold.
Wow.
Give me an example of something that grows underground.
A carrot.
Carrots. When you boil them from cold.
Okay.
Beetroots, sweet potato, always start from cold. The reason for that is it's quite a dense vegetable. If you're going to start cooking in hot water, the outside's going to cook before the inside does. And the outside's going to be done, and the inside's not going to be done, and they're going to have a horrible festive season.
Yeah, it's going to be ruined. That's not perfection. Cool.
And quite a bit of salt. What do potatoes taste like?
Nothing.
Nothing. You want to bring out the flavor, you got to use salt. Okay. Then you're going to cook it until a fork goes through, not a knife, because a knife will go through easily through anything.
Okay.
A fork. Goes in easily, comes out, you take it out, and then you pop it in the fridge to cool down completely.
Wow.
Then what you do is you heat your oil up. And when you heat your oil up now, is you're not heating it up to fry yet. You want to create a seal on the outside of your potatoes.
Okay.
So it's going to be at about 150 degrees Celsius. How do you test that? Put a chopstick in there, and it should have tiny, tiny bubbles. It shouldn't be like brrr, tiny bubbles. You should have done the note for note.
Yeah.
You were amazing, by the way. You got all of them right.
Morning, man.
Okay.
I heard my Rooibos song earlier.
Oh, nice.
Amazing.
Okay, I'm going to check it out. This is what your potatoes should look like after the first fry. A little bit of color, maybe, but it's not that deep brown.
All right.
Okay? So now I've heated up my oil for a second.
It's like the beginning of summer. They haven't quite got a tan yet. They've just been out, but they've been wearing sunscreen.
So for your first fry, what you're looking for is a young Graham.
More me.
Okay, and then you're going to heat your oil up, and what you're going to end up with is a young Clem.
Is a Chef Clem. Okay,
I like how we just did that. Okay,
yeah.
So oil heated up, and now you're going to put your chopstick in, or like take a piece of potato and put it in.
Okay.
If the bubbles start really cooking,
you want a bit of bubble. It's 150 odd. Okay, or you can use a thermometer if you have.
Or you can use a thermometer.
Cool.
The reason, what happens now is you can actually make it like this the day before Christmas. let it cool down in the fridge. Then, when you're ready for it, on Christmas Day, you're not gonna spend forever in the kitchen, you pop it into your oil.
Just to give it the golden deliciousness.
Just before your guests sit down, and you give it that beautiful color.
Now it's popping.
Now it's popping. So the reason we cook it 3 times, right? The first time is to make it super tender and fluffy.
To boil it.
Yeah.
Then
the
you fry
second time
once.
to create a crust on the outside and remove the excess moisture.
Okay.
The third time is to take that crust now and make it seriously crunchy. Okay, so let's just get the rest of these in. And you'll see it doesn't take too long to actually get nice and brown. You see, we've just popped it in, it's already started changing color.
Wow.
It's quick. Okay, so potatoes, as soon as they come out of the oil, I'm gonna borrow this one over here, taking it away.
Okay, we've got 20 seconds. Can I make a dressing?
Very, very quickly. Instead of, okay, malt vinegar goes on, that's super acid, garlic powder, and salt. And that's all you need to make the most amazing.
Man.
And use malt vinegar, it's really good.
Yeah.
Garlic powder?
It's slightly earthier. It's not quite as like, it's got a nice, deep, strong flavor profile. Salt bay it, and look at that. Spectacular. Now, doesn't your roast chicken, your roast leg of lamb, your gammon need that?
Absolutely.
It does, Chef Clem. Doesn't your Boxing Day need that cold the following day? Yes, it does. You can find this recipe on woolworths.co.za. You can go check out their Instagram page for a full tutorial. I understand why we need the tutorial now, because this was a process, but it takes a little something to get to perfection. Well done, man. Hey? Wow.